those. Alright. They're getting ready to start. Okay, so we're going to be streaming the LGB versus holyfieldbr Discord Gold Cup Semifinals. It's a mouthful. We have LGB's deck is a Seeker of Void Dragon Splash Phoenix deck. So this might be part of the toxic deck list for Seeker of Void. So we're going to see Students of Tau. Interestingly enough, there's also Studious. I guess he's running enough scholars to make that worth it. Celebrated Renown. One Bustling Academy. That's kind of nice. What is the RL card? One Consumed by 5 Fires. That always feels strange to me to have your RL card be a one of. I don't think that's going to see a whole lot of use in this game. Holyfield is running a Honor Switch deck. I've managed to stream this a couple times, so we know what it does and how it does it. Looks like we're just waiting for Holyfield to join. Make sure I'm not missing anything in any channels. I'm not. All is well. Yeah, so back over here, what else we got? We have a pretty hateful row, actually. Interesting, we don't see Curry Mori deciding to go Shameful Way to Duty for Void Provinces. Also not running City of the Rich Frog for a third Void Province. We do see one Emperor Ugina, so just very voidy kind of deck. 2 Assassinations, that'll be useful. Ancient Masters Let Go for Splash, and a Tadaka. Tadaka can end up doing some good work since hand sizes look like they're going to be low on this one. Then we see some standard IMS chicanery with Cloak of Night and IMS. So Favor should be easy to control. Looks like a fairly solid Phoenix deck. Studiouses are also going to do some work on low bids. And looks like he left. That's unfortunate. Is this still going to happen? Kind of surprising. Oops. I probably typed that. Alright, so now we're just waiting on them to get ready to go. So that was a little bit of weirdness, but all is well now. Okay. Looks like decks are locked in. We got another spectator. Seal the Phoenix is the new meta. I can't. All right. Hopefully that will never ever be true. Okay. So here I think it feels like Phoenix might be a little disadvantaged here. I don't know that they have a whole lot of answers to the honor gain. Hopefully they do. games that go back and forth are much more enjoyable when, pardon me, uh, it's actually a game and not a blowout. And Lion Honor can definitely turn into a blowout. Alright, we see two obstinates and a hero of the three trees. Naive student, Sakazuki, solemn scholar, and Isawasuke. So buying the obstinates means we're probably going to see one bids. Um, there is a good number of scholars on the Phoenix side, so Studious might be helpful if that's in hand. If I was Phoenix, I'd definitely be mulliganing hard for alternative card draw. We do see a Suki purchase with one fate, and a hero of three trees of two fate. And the obstinate, expect we'll see a pass out of Phoenix. And so now here comes the question. Do you bid 5 and go for cards and give Lion a head start, or do you try and play its game and generate more value on the board? I think given that there's a hero, you can't bid 5, and they both bid 1. So Lion's on the play, so probably going to see a military conflict first and foremost. Going to see military Earth at Sanpuku Saido. That's a good hit. You have to defend it with a favorable ground showing. And we do see a Studious come down. So we're going to see some alternate card draw doing a lot of work here. Q Nakoma does fire off, and Balba Naive Student. So hopefully there's an Against the Waves. That'll work. So now we go probably Political Water. Yeah, Political Water. And then she honors herself. Nope, choose a scholar character. So Naive Student can defend. Oh, decides to go Void instead. Nope, going Fire. Feel like a racetrack announcer here when they make changes like that. Chooses to pass. Okay, so possibly a Clarity of Purpose in hand. This is going to have to go somewhere else besides Sanpuku Saido, which is going to leave Upholding, which is a fairly safe hit, because you don't break that unless you want to. Shameful is not a great hit. Seeker Void gains Fate. There's a defense. I expect we're going to see Clarity of Purpose would be a big play here. There's Court Games to Honor. I don't think that's going to do enough. Court Games to Dishonor. Trying to keep under Lion's hand to keep Hero from firing. Three Trees goes home. No clarity. Favor will be a push, which is about as good. I'll draw a card off the Naive Student, so they'll be fairly well tied on resources. So now the problem is Holyfield can only find weight of duty and what was the fourth province? Upholding authority. That's not great. Oh, and we see Hantai flip with no favor in play. He is going to be a super goodbye because he can redirect the choice from exposed country or exposed courtyard. He can do a lot of work here. I think he can even redirect the choice for Spirit Caller. Yep. I think you buy the Emperor with 3 is a good commitment to that. And then you pass? Nope, buys a scholar. Okay, so he wants to go in political water with Suki. Will honor the scholar. That'll be helpful. Both players unsurprisingly draw 1. Studi is quite likely to net LGB 2 cards. 1 off the Granted Sincerity, and then another one for winning a conflict, which should be super easy to do. Spirit Caller is going to get an obstinate recruit no matter what. And he can even redirect the exposed courtyard to pick the court games. Is the Emperor a solution to line we've all been looking for? Probably not. Finds upholding. Good find. There's the defense. Makeshift war camp. I mean, you can just bow IMS to bring him back down to 1. But now he can't fight over here with 3 trees. I don't think 1 honor is super end of the world. I wouldn't necessarily burn. Oh no, just gonna happy to take it. Okay, so uses the hero, pass, doesn't want to fire off IMS to win. That feels a little strange. Zentaro replaces the hero. No holdings to steal, so it's going to be a military conflict. Goes at Shameful. Makes sense, his stats can't get worse. Might be hoping Exposed Courtyard finds a pump card. Uses IMS to 0 him out. Storehouse to draw. Exposed Courtyard feels like a risky play. I do like the idea of making him pick court games based off of an exposed courtyard. Discards a Legion of 1 and the Nezumi Infiltrator, so the court games get picked. I don't know what the hope was to find there. Can't really spirit call someone in because they'll just get bowed and you're still at 0. Phoenix has been doing a really good job of stymieing Lion here. Okay, logistics to draw a card. bunch of resources are getting played, but they seem to be resources that refresh themselves, so that's all fine too. Spirit Caller calls in Hero. I believe the hero is going to get bowed here. So now no resources are contributing anything. Holyfield plays a card, and he can trigger hero again. He may just have to console himself with the 1 point of honor gain. Common cause to stand a Spirit Caller. Nice. So now we're looking at a 5-on-5 conflict. Goes water. That'll straighten and honor the student. There's a defend and a pass. Taking an honored Spirit Caller ain't too shabby. Breaking Kenson would be really good, but I don't see that being in the cards. I don't think there's anything that we saw in the deck. Seal the Phoenix, Court Games wouldn't do it. Yeah, no, there's nothing to force a break here. And we see a pass, so Suki draws a card, honors the scholar, straightens the scholar. There's a defense up and ready. Line is managing to edge itself up little by little. Common causing the hero means there's another point of honor gain sitting in the discard pile. I expect Holyfield's not going to pitch anything. And I expect the seasons to be capped DL. That way, if there's a particularly toxic flip, it can all go away. Spirit Caller, Senuri, Favorable Ground Hero. Yeah, I think you fire the seasons without any kind of hesitation here. Senuri is all about can't trigger abilities. So Sampuku Saito is still impossible to break, but Weight of Duty and Upholding Authority and Shameful Display are basically worthless with her on the table. That is the buy he goes for, and somehow that got worse. There's a Senuri dupe and a Totori dupe, or not dupe, initial, and a new Gina and another season. Decides to invest hard in Totori, so we see seasons fire again. Bustling Academy is a relatively good find, because he's got a scholar. We see a Prodigy get purchased, so I expect we'll see a Suki get purchased again. Those seasons were not necessarily kind to Phoenix. It got rid of some problems, but that Totori is now going to be a huge issue. Uses Bustling to discard Zentaro. We We see the Sonuri get pitched for the dupe. Does not buy any characters. Keeps him at 0 fate. I very much expect we're going to see a military air ring at Phoenix is running some assassinates, if I remember correctly, too, so you still got to be careful where you go. Safest place is to try and find way to duty, I think. Or actually, you have enough guys, you can just walk hard into Sanpuku Saido with Toturi and Zentaro. Cloaker Knight and IMS takes a 6, so you'd need some more characters, but that's still a viable strategy, I think. Military air at Shameful runs the risk of getting assassinated here with no favor protection. But winning it is going to be big. So I assume we're going to see an assassinate on Sonuri. No defense. You just letting this go on its own feels risky. Just hard place to dock into a conflict. Alright. He's got plenty of characters to pick from. So both seasons did a good job of filling that up. Favorable gets stolen. That's a little unfortunate. That means one of those characters is probably going to go home. It can't be with Sonuri because then Shameful gets turned back on. So if he's doing poorly in the conflict. Okay, so 4 cards get removed to look at the whole hand. We see a Tessin, Prepared Ambush, Field of Ruin, and Tessin. So one Tessin goes away, Katana gets played, so there's no longer a break happening. There are no cards that are useful here, and there is still an Emperor, so plays a Katana. So this conflict is over now. So I think you favorable home the Sonuri. Now you can't do that because then you get Shameful and that Tadaka becomes a bigger problem. I think you take Toturi home and use him for defense because then you have a good military and political defense in the Spirit Caller and Toturi. Tries to Spirit Call, Emperor's going to pick. I expect we're going to see an Obstinate come out, which we do. Which does take him to winning again. So that's not nothing. He can always just bow Toturi though. Decides to go Soup Storm. So back up to winning. No real tricks to... You can pre-play a Tessin, sends Toturi home. That is unsurprising. But he still has the bow from Hantai to push a win through, so we're probably going to see a military water. Yeah, I think military water, we've seen Upholding and Kensen, so we still have a Pilgrimage and Art of War. I wouldn't go fishing. Really goes Earth and goes political and goes it upholding. Okay, so political makes sense. You're not breaking now. Unless you choose to. Earth, I'm not super keen on. Unless you've got an Against the Waves. Is he on Tessin? Oops, too far. Not on Tessin. Tessin comes down on Sinuri. Ooh, this is a problem. Emperor got bowed. So now it's very imperative that you get favor. If I'm Holyfield here, I just pass. Right? Because that puts you... Yeah, passing's not a bad play. Goes water. Not that keen on that idea. And goes hunting. That feels even worse. Finds way to duty. I don't like that hunt. So water will straighten. Yep, Solemn Scholar bows. There's pass, so we still have the Hantai bow. So Ancient Master needs to come down, otherwise the Emperor is going to blow up, and that's sad times. Ancient Master comes down, all is right in the world. You can just walk forward on military fire. Steal a Fate, honor your Tadaka, and you still have the Hantai bow available to you, and claiming a ring will ensure you the favor stays put. This match clearly shows what I know about playing Phoenix. It looks like he's got good control of this game, and hasn't gotten any breaks yet. So he needs to start pushing that forward. So we're going to see Hantai bow. There's a win. Going to see Tadaka get honored. Oh, dishonors Toturi instead. I guess that makes sense. So now Holyfield has to switch to bidding 5, I think, because you've been stymied for a while and your honor is low and your card count's low. If he was in, well, honor being low relative, if he was in a better position honor-wise, he could probably keep up the bid 1 game. But I fully expect he's going to switch to breaking now. Decides to keep both the hero and the chronicler, so I could know fuck all about playing Lion as well. Students of the Tau is going to keep making this an uphill struggle. I think you don't have a scholar, so you can't pitch to Master Tactician. That's going to be a little rough. Master Tactician means you can probably still keep doing a 1 bid. But you have to capitalize on the Emperor while he's around, because he's only running 1 of them, so once this 1 fate goes away, it's gone for good. Holyfield has to buy the Master Tactician now if he's going to, chooses not to, so I think that's going to get cycled away. No. Okay. Student of the Tau gets purchased. So now wins are going to be even harder. And finding pilgrimage now is a good thing. Do you buy the tactician naked? He buys a hero with a bunch of fate. Okay. Let's pass. So, what, you walk forward, military, at still bid 1 too. He's committed to this plan. So if that's the case, I think your safest bet for a break is going at upholding. Yeah. You might be able to push through on pilgrimage. You don't have any honored characters for IMS, but he does have Toturi. Decides to go Void. That's thinking about Void at least. And going forward with Tadaka makes a whole lot of sense. He's got plenty of bodies to pick from. 3, 4, 6 bodies to pick from. Finds Pilgrimage, so there's no real viable defense you can put forward here. Student of the Tau is probably going to send someone home. And the Emperor can always bow someone else. Toturi being, but yeah, I mean, your first action is clearly going to be to Tadaka. We see a big old defense, 9 to 9. Does tick up his honor by 1. I think you 100% Tadaka here. Field of Ruin and Spirit Caller Prodigy, so there's no real decision there. Field of Ruin's not doing anything. Spirit Caller can do a lot of work in the future. So there are no tricks, so you can always Spirit Call someone in. You're winning but not breaking. And you can always Spirit Call in another 3 force. Or another hero of the 3 trees to gain another honor. You got 5 cards in your hand. We don't know what they are. 3 trees goes home. Makes sense. We're going to see IMS trigger on Toturi then. So now he's got a Spirit Call to stop the break and ring effect. I think that's what you have to do, right? Because your game plan is honor victory, so you can Spirit Call in another hero and gain another honor and force another resource use out of LGB. He's got a lot of resources that he can just do on the table though. And defending with both Toturi and Sonuri means you can't go... tries to Spirit Call. Hantai's going to pick. Hantai is probably going to pick another Obstinate. It still stops the break, but it prevents... Oh, gets a Lion's Pride Brawler. Huh. Okay, I mean, if you're just going to bow it anyway, it doesn't matter what gets chosen. But Hantai's abilities are off the table now. Pilgrimage gets busted. We know he has exactly 0 tricks, so we're probably going to see political water. That's going to be upholding. I don't like going water. I'm also not super keen on defending with the student of the Tao. I would probably defend. Oh, you're going to defend with both of them? So there's got to be a clarity of purpose then, if you defend with both. Because this is clearly a conflict just to force a lose. So a student of the Tao is going to get bowed from Q to Nakoma. And it's going to result in another light poke. So now you walk forward with the Ancient Master. That doesn't feel super great. IMS has been used. Attacking the Ancient Master feels risky because you're going to lose Sanfuku Saido. If you don't have a Straighten or another Ancient Master. Not even another Ancient Master won't do it. There's a defense, stop the unopposed. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yep, nothing new. Okay. Steals an honor, unsurprising. I think you have to run it Sanfuku. Anywhere else you go is just. I guess you could actually no going military Earth. We see against the waves. You're not going anywhere unless you want to only put 1 fate. So attacking here means only 1 fate has, or only 1 ring has fate on it, and so next turn he's the only one who would get money, which it does have some value. And we do see him walk at upholding, and we're just going to see pass here. That student of the Tao is going to be doing a lot of work here. Because the only place it's productive to attack is upholding authority now. But the longer the game goes on, the more it plays into Lion's game plan. Because when the Emperor dies this turn, that is going to really change the tempo of the game. Holyfield's field is a bit more impressive after this turn. We do see a Toturi dupe, which is good because Gina flipped. And I think use Sudden Tempest the Void Ring if he buys Ugina. Or even if he doesn't, that way it's a wasted buy, a quote unquote wasted buy. If that happens, this will be the first time I've seen Sudden Tempest actually like triggered. Dupes Totori. We did see the Ojina buy, so you have to Sudden Tempest here. Otherwise your board is going to have problems. Decides, or LGB passes, losing the hero to avoid, does not Sudden Tempest. So that means the hero of the 3-tree, you're not going to get the Zentaro dupe on him. Continue to see 1-bids. Still has a good number of characters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Tadaka's going to pillage his hand. I really would have liked. Oh no, because the Emperor can just redirect that choice. That was basically for nothing. Finally drops the Field of Ruin. Bustling Academy gets rid of Zentaro. That's not super great, because that means now that Totori is going to continue living even if you void there. I still don't know what province you attack. I mean, if you've got 2 cards in your hand, you have 1 card because it's Tadaka. You might as well go Military Earth at Upholding. Decides to go Political Earth at Upholding. Okay. Steals the only fate. Tadaka's not involved in this conflict yet. So I imagine that's the character that gets bowed. Oh, never mind. Tadaka doesn't have to be participating. Takes Spirit Caller Prodigy, leaves him with a Legion of 1, which can matter a good deal. There is a battlefield in play, so I think it would behoove. Oh no, there's 2 battlefields in play. So if the favorable ground can stay or go, it doesn't matter. I forget that cards on the sides of provinces count. Ooh, can he not? Oh no, because there's still the Emperor. Yeah, so his own character can get bowed, so he couldn't even cue Nakoma. He basically needs to survive this turn. And then things start looking a little better for him. Political void is going to be hard to deal with. Gotta go to Upholding though. And yep, nope. It's a hard choice, because Art of Giving Lion cards is going to sting. Going to Kensen means he can defend with the hero and Totori, gain an honor, and then honor Totori for next turn, where it becomes more difficult to do anything about him. And the hero of the 3 trees is going to get Et anyway, so I think you kind of have to defend with him, or at a minimum. Is it a him or a her? Her-ish? Yeah. Now we see a defend with Master Tactician and Hero. So now he's got access to some cards. Ticks up to 18 honor. Okay, so we are seeing that break. Question is the top of this conflict deck a dead card? Yeah, I definitely think Phoenix needs to definitely start, definitely, save that a few more times, start applying some break pressure here, because their board is going to destabilize pretty heavily at the end of this turn. Oh, we've seen. Okay, no, Hantai still hasn't used his bow yet. I was going to say Totori could walk at Senpuku Saido. Common Cause. Interesting. Okay. I guess that was just to clear the top of his deck. Um, Common Cause has this weird text that no one ever realizes, that you can straighten your opponent's characters and they get honored if you do, which is probably why he was able to do that. Prepared Ambush on Senpuku is a good setup for next turn. I don't know what just beeped at me from my phone, but that's fine. And the next card is Student of the Tau gets Clarity. Okay, so now we're going to see a bunch of breaks happen this turn on the line side. Place Field of Ruin on his own pilgrimage. That feels a little odd. So hero gets Et, but he gains an honor because of the timing on that. You got no fate. We know what the card in his hand is. It's Legion of 1. Student of the Tau is enormous. And Clarity, so you... Oh, what do? You walk forward at Senpuku Saido. That forces... When there's a military conflict left, you can't attack. That's probably the correct call. I think you have to attack with the Student of Tau as well, right? You can't just... I mean, you have enough there to force a break with Tadaka, but there's no real reason to do that. Pilgrimage of Polling, so... Do you go to Art of War? I don't like going to Art of War. I think the way resources are set up, you just sacrifice your hand to the Polding. Even if he defends, he's defending with 5. And you're attacking with 9, so you still break. Legion of 1's only on offense, but giving him cards doesn't feel super great. going fire. Might as well honor Ugina, I guess. It's not going to be an unopposed conflict, so it doesn't really matter. It goes to Art of War, so Spectral Visitations is on the box, where it lives. Nothing's going to get played here. So now we're going to be equal on hand sizes. Holyfield is definitely within striking distance of honoring out and losing 14 glory count. Jesus Christ. Alright, so I think this is going to be the last turn of the game. Maybe next turn. A sudden Tempest would be really good. I probably wouldn't keep Toturi, because I don't think the game is going to go on that much longer. And shutting down a Void Ring is actually going to be a pretty big deal. Decides to keep it. Does not find a sudden Tempest. We see a bunch of Ethereal Dreamers though, Jesus Christ. There is a Seasons of War. So Honor's off the table now, because Holyfield's about to get decked if he fires the season. Dreamers. Yes. Does not play the seasons. See LPB get bought. I assume we're going to see the Honored Veterans get played. We're going to see a big old push at the province, at the Stronghold. Honored Veterans. Spectral Visitations, Mills. I mean, doesn't matter how many it mills, he's going to have his choice of characters. Which is probably going to be Hero of the Three Trees. Does not play the Chronicler. That feels interesting. Ooh, there's a Sudden Tempest. I think you 100% play the Sudden Tempest. Lock out the Void Ring. You buy the Obstinates because you can't. You just take the 5 honor hit. It's fine. Because that leaves you in a much stronger board state going into next turn. So Obstinate 1, we'll probably see Obstinates 2 and 3, or 2. I have to imagine you play that Sun Tempest. Otherwise, you're going to lose a Tactician or Toturi. One Brawler might be enough. So Spectral is now going to be a toss-up on what it finds. It is kind of hairy. All 3 Dreamers was, oddly enough, a really good hit. LGB asking if Spectral Visitations is fire. I believe it clearly is. Oh no, he's Seeker of Earth. Really? Spectral Visitations is Earth? Huh, okay. Air Ring gets locked out. going to see 1 bids. Ooh. A 4 bid. So LGB clearly read a 5 bid and wanted to bid 4 to blow up the obstinates. Okay, so soup storms are going to be huge here. So water it is. Oh, did he get the right? Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. It's fine. Okay, Field of Ruin triggering on himself. Does feed Spectral Visitations, which is a big deal. All the Dreamers are going on water, so we're going to see a political conflict, and we're looking at 5, 7, 11, 14, 17, 20, 21, 23 political. That's if everything goes. All the Dreamers should go. And then the question is, what does... Yeah, so there is the full push. It'll be 23 after IMS. Oh, it'll be 24. Oh, favor. Yep. So 24 total. Currently, he can defend with 0, 5, 8, 10, 11. He can defend with half of that. There is some lag. Yep, throw and Paul everything at the box. Oh, he's having a bunch of lag problems. That's not great. There we go. Spectral Visitations fires. Holyfield gains Fate. And pulls the Spirit Caller, which will probably then pull something else. There's 13 on the defense. Apparently I can't math. Obstinate's there just to eat the Dishonor token from court games. Way of the Line sitting on top, so that gets burned. Attachments aren't going to do it. Seal of the Phoenix. There's a Seal of the Phoenix meta. For exactly what that matters, I don't know. We see Logistics get played to off the top to draw a card. There's another Seal of the Phoenix. This is definitely going to be hard to overcome. I don't really see how that's going to happen. There's another Logistics. So he is out of Tactician uses, but has gotten a bunch of cards. I don't think that's enough. I don't know, like, there can't be, oh, he plays at court games to honor a character. Yep. I can't think of anything in here. Yeah, there's nothing in here that's going to make a difference. He's going to honor someone, probably the Tactician. Spirit Caller can't trade for better stats on anyone. This has to be just playing cards for the sake of playing cards. He's still effectively 12 up. And LGB is just driving the nail further into this coffin. Plays an infiltrator and ups province strength. Okay. He's now just 14 behind. Oh no, sorry. That's now at 6. He's at 23. So he's just 8 behind. There's an assassination on the Ecomo Prodigy. And there's the concession. Alright, that is the game. It looks like LGB is moving on to the finals. He's also saying he's very lucky. I think he did a really good job of holding off the honor for Lion really well. Managed to get... if he hadn't milled himself out, he'd be at 23. Well, that he wouldn't have bid for. But, yep, that's where we are. It was a good game, a little grindy. Clearly very slow and methodical. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.